What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Faraday Future. So a lot of people have been messaging me asking, should I average down? What is my true thoughts on Faraday? So I figured it's Sunday, why the hell not? Let's pop on and do a quick video about where Faraday is at, some things that you need to watch for, and everything else. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, I've been very clear that I've covered Faraday in over this last 2 years. So I've been covering the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I've even stated that I'm not really that bullish on their operations. I'm more at the stage of show me, get the damn UAE deal, prove me wrong. And so that's where I'm at operationally. But what happened because of this spike, this partial squeeze, I feel like a lot of people don't actually realize how important that was to Faraday. Only because leading up to that, Faraday gave up. Management did not give two craps. They stopped even doing fluff PR. So this did light a match under their ass. And this is why you can tell LinkedIn, YouTube, X, they are posting everywhere. So they are a lot more active. And probably because they do see this as their lifeline. They got a new rush of shareholders that are interested in the underlying business. So they're kind of appealing to that, which nothing wrong with that, right? Especially considering during their recent earnings, they did somewhat thank the new shareholders because they were inches away from bankruptcy. As I was even saying in my videos leading up to that point, to this crazy spike, that they basically need to do something and that they were like a month and a half away from bankruptcy. So it was very right down to the wire. So this was literally their saving grace, as I've stated in the past. But they're not out of water, because if you think about it, they've done a lot of promises about UAE deals coming down the pipeline. Nothing has come out officially. Keep in mind, that's all that matters, is official news. Fisker is a very good representation of what happens about speculation. For the longest time, they were seeking partners from big OEMs. Then eventually they did go down the same route as Faraday, and they started to say that they are looking into deals from the Middle East. Clearly, we already know how that went. I believe they filed for Chapter 11, so reorganization, so not necessarily the best. But it goes to show how important this deal is for Faraday. So like I've said, I think I did a video 3 days ago, the honest truth. I went over Faraday's kind of the authorized shares, the current outstanding shares, what they have in limbo for their notes, how damaging that is. Like, Faraday definitely does need this UAE deal, but it can't just be, hey, we're going to partner with you and we're going to give you, like, I don't know, partner in some capacity. It needs to be of substance, in my opinion at least, in excess of 400 million, because looking at their financials, as I've kind of pointed out, so just from on a quarterly basis, they're burning through around 37 million every single quarter. And I think as of December, they were kind of starting to tone it down. So in reality, it probably is going to be more around that 100 million every single quarter. So they need at least 1 year's worth of liquidity to really get things going. So if that entity out there with the UAE does not give at least 400 million, this is where Faraday could get very, very interesting, more so on the negative side. So I just wanted to kind of pop on. A lot of people are saying that, do I buy? Do I sell? You guys do whatever floats your boat. Faraday definitely is a risky play. And with this new shareholder meeting coming down the pipeline, which was just announced on Friday after hours, you do have the authorized shares being proposed to increase to, what was it, that 4.1 billion, which is right here. You also have that reverse stock split, a 1-to-2 to a 1-to-40, which, like I've said, I do feel it's going to be on the higher side, a 1-to-40. And yeah, I think this definitely comes down to trust. Do you trust management to do the right thing? Because you're giving management quite a lot of power, and it's like giving someone who's bad with money essentially like unlimited power, because by raising the authorized shares and doing a reverse stock split, they could do quite a lot of damage. So in essence, like, do you buy? if you believe in management, if you believe in the product, which mind you, I think the product itself is fairly good. I got to give it to them. Like, it is very good, very expensive. So I think what they mentioned about pivoting is very key, because that does need to happen. A little bit more easier path to profitability that way than higher price point. So that definitely does need to happen. And in my opinion, that kind of came out of left field. So I'm not here to say that they're making up the whole UAE deal, because I do feel, based on everything that they have said, if that turns out to be like a fugazi and they just made that up, they're all going to be sued like crazy. So I don't think they're that stupid. So I think that UAE entity legitimately said, hey, if we partner with you guys need to kind of have a lower price vehicle. Like, we can't, the higher price isn't literally working. We see Lucid doing the exact same thing, and it's not really working for them. So the Lucid Sapphire I'm talking about, which is valued at, I think, 249,000. So yeah, I think in essence, they do need that deal, the UAE deal, and I think the bridging can kind of wait as well, as long as they have sufficient amount of financing from that UAE deal. Then Faraday should be a-okay, at least in the short term. Kind of kicks the can down the line a little bit, but it's definitely not a home run. So that's just my honest opinion on where Faraday's at. Like I said, it's just at the stage of, okay, show me. Like, do your damn job, get some progress underway, and then the price will automatically kind of move up from there. So it's just a very interesting scenario. You are going to see a lot more volatility, especially in Faraday, because, for instance, in case you guys do not know, when it comes down to shorts, I feel like a lot of people, not to call out anyone in specific, but I feel like a lot of people just loosely say, oh, it's shorts. When it comes down to shorting, just so you guys are aware, the max you can actually earn is 100%, but that is only if the company goes belly up. So this is more common than not that you see them cycle it out around that 80%, unless they kind of keep adding. But when it comes down to Faraday itself, this is why you usually do see those spikes up. And so no doubtably, there was an increase in shorts at that 50-cent mark. Because they did want to bring it below that 50-cent mark. And this is why it did also bounce around that 26-cent mark, because that's obviously that 80 to 90% profit margin for short. So this is where you see that cycling all the time. So given right now, if shorts are to increase, this is why around that 20-cent mark, once again, you could see it kind of move up. So long story short, there's going to be a lot of volatility in the foreseeable future. Just do you guys' own due diligence at the end of the day. So that's my Sunday rant for you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Do you guys think that it's going to move higher, lower? In my opinion, I feel like if there is a deal that is going to be announced with the UAE, it might be after the whole shareholder meeting, which is slated for July the 31st. And so if you want as well, I can live stream that, but I feel like it is going to be done after. A lot of people are speculating on everything. Those deals do take a lot of time, especially if it is in excess of like 400 million, like big money. So if it's just something small, like 50 million in tranches, let's say over 6 months or something like that, I feel like that still won't be good. It needs to be at least 400 million, plus the UAE entity will need to put one of their board or someone on Faraday's board. I think that is a must. That, again, similarly happened with Lucid as well. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.